Hi everyone, it's Carrie, aka Nerdy Girl Crates, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is a follow-up video from my review of the My Hero Academia manga. This time, I watched My Hero Academia anime seasons 1 through 2, and I want to talk about that today. So I found My Hero Academia, the anime, on the Funimation app, and I've watched season 1 through most of season 2, and I have to say I am enjoying it. As somebody who's a traditional comic book fan, love my American superheroes, this show is giving me exactly what I've been missing from modern comic books and a lot of the even superhero movies. You have this great character in Midoriya who is determined to become a hero, but then when he finds out he does not possess the quirk that most people inherit that give them superpowers, he's first disappointed, but he is determined to keep his goal. And when he bumps into his favorite hero of all time, All Might, he is then given the opportunity to be the hero he always wants to. So the adventures of Midori take place in the high school known as UA, and here Midori, also known as Deku, makes some new friends, including Yuruka and Tenya. But he's also reunited with his middle school bully / childhood friend Bakugo, which is unfortunate for poor Deku because Bakugo is determined to upstage him and take him down and get to the root of how suddenly his childhood friend has a quirk when he's never shown any abilities ever in their whole time together. Midoriya also comes across a new rival known as Shoto Toradaki, who is the son of a very famous superhero. But he doesn't exactly have like the best childhood. His father is not somebody he admires, and they have a very, very, I would say, abusive relationship. And this story kind of makes Shoto one of my favorite characters in this show. You also have All Might, the hero that Midoriya admires, and he is now adapting to life as a teacher while also trying to hide the secret that he is unable to maintain his powers for more than 3 hours. You also have some other classmates in here. One of them, Mineta, who you heard me talk about on the manga, has a very strange power where he's got these balls that grow in his head that are sticky, but he's also pretty much a perv, and he's always trying to check girls out in the most inappropriate way. The anime is so much fun. I mean, you get to see Deku go from being this normal kid who doesn't possess a quirk to finally getting the powers he's always dreamed of and struggling to learn to use them. And I mean, this goes on for a couple seasons. The powers are not exactly going the way he would hope. He worked hard to earn the right to get the powers, but now he's got to develop himself so he can control them. As it stands right now, every time he uses the powers, he ends up breaking his bones. It's kind of like terrifying to see, but poor Deku is determined to maintain his position at UA and become the hero he dreams of. And he's not willing to give up trying to figure out how to control this power. And All Might is very determined to be a mentor to him, even though maybe at times he's not always the best mentor, which gets pointed out later on in season 2 by All Might's former teacher. Midoriya, Deku, he's also finds like this strength through his friends. He admires them a lot. He sees their determination, but he's kind of also surprised to find out that the reason they have this determination is also because they're inspired by him. And he's very modest. He's kind of like shy when he hears people say how much they inspire him or anything like that. And he's just kind of like surprised by it because given his current state with his abilities, he doesn't see why anybody would want to admire him. He's also worried that, the teachers and the school might end up kicking him out because his power is so detrimental to his own body. Like, watching him constantly physically destroy himself every time he uses his power. It becomes concerning, even for the nurse who heals everybody. She's one of the few people who knows about All Might's secret, and she calls him out on a regular basis for what happens to poor Midoriya. There's also a group of villains, and it's nice to see a group of villains who are just motivated for evil means. There's no sob stories so far. There's no like, oh, this poor guy was like, had this traumatic life and that's what led him down this path. I'm not getting that so far. It's pretty much these people are like power hungry. They have this power and they want to prove that they're powerful. And most of them target All Might because he is the most powerful superhero as far as we know. And poor Midoriya gets caught up in that because they know that some of them discover how much All Might favors him, and also they see the similarities between their two powers. And there's another villain in the background that All Might's concerned about. I haven't been introduced to him yet, either in the manga or in the anime. Kind of trying to stay at the same place with the manga and the anime. But whoever it is, it's got All Might really worried. We also get introduced to All Might's original mentor, who takes Midoriya under his wing and is trying to help him control the power better than he is. You also have Bakugo, who's going through this, how can I say, he's originally the big fish in a little pond where he was like, everybody looked at him like he was the greatest hero ever. But now that he's at UA, he's starting to realize there might be people better than him, and that bothers him to no end. All Might, too, even calls out his attitude on a regular basis. He just wants to be the best ever, but he's missing the point of what it is to be a hero. But he's, I think, slowly getting to realize that he gets knocked off his pedestal more than he was planning on it happening. From being jealous of Midoriya suddenly having powers and that the fact he could beat him at times. Also, Shoto is also a concern for Bakugo, because being the son of a very famous hero and having dual powers in a way intimidates Bakugo, but he also sees it as a challenge. And when he does finally get to fight him, the way he wins, he's not happy with. He doesn't feel like it was an earned win. Later, when he goes to mentor a hero, he's dealt with a hero who doesn't like his attitude. And the reason this hero took him on was to try to teach him modesty, to try to teach him what a hero really is. And I'm interested to see how that goes, because I'm up to that part now in the anime and in the manga. He really is like aggravated with Bakugo's ego. And he's trying to remind him that, you know, being a hero means about saving people. It means about comforting people when they're scared. It means about putting on a good, welcoming presentation, not this arrogant. And he kind of reminds him how close to the line Bakugo is to being a villain. Now, speaking of Shoto, like I said, he's probably one of my favorite characters in this whole anime so far. And his relationship with his dad is very interesting. Like I said earlier on, there's a very abusive underlying relationship there, because the whole reason his father had him was just to create a hero that could beat All Might. And his mother was forced to marry his father, which is another thing that's like, oh my gosh, you feel bad for Shoto because he sees how abused his mother gets from this father, because she's just nothing more than a baby maker for him. She was selected because of her quirk. And Shoto is determined to not become his father. He's determined not to use the power he inherited from his father and just use the one he inherited from his mother. And he's rebellious against his father, and it's very understandable why. But Midoriya kind of makes him realize that this power is his power. It's not necessarily his father's power, and that he should be able to harness it. And Midoriya also helps him realize that he needs to reconcile with his mother, who's been put in a hospital by his father after she kind of lost her mind and accidentally burned Shoto's face. And he's reaching out to her just to kind of understand who he is, while also trying to be defiant against his father. Now, another interesting character in here is Tenya. He is the perfect student, follows every rule to the hilt. He does not stray from, he never bends the rules. He doesn't like it when other people are disrespectful to guidelines. He is the son from a very wealthy and very famous hero family, but they uphold the aspects of what it is to be a hero. So he wants to continue on that, and he looks up to his older brother, who is a current hero out in the field. And he likes order. He's very by the book. Very, very by the book. And he admires Midoriya very much because Midoriya is very nice and kind, and he admires Midoriya's determination to grow and become powerful. Unfortunately, something does happen in Tenya's life that starts to have him go against his own beliefs. And I don't want to reveal that yet because I'm on that part now in the anime and in the manga. But it's kind of like you understand why when you see what happens. Another character is Yuraka. She is the first friend Midoriya makes at the school. They met when they were taking the exam to enter the school, and her whole power is she can make things float. She's very nice. She's very sweet. She admires Midoriya, and in a lot of sense, Midoriya admires her because she takes, when they have a school competition, she's up against Bakugo, and Midoriya is worried about her, but she pretty much has confidence going into it, even though she knows there's a very big chance she won't win. And she comes up with a strategy, and she actually holds her own in the battle. But her reasons for becoming a hero are different from most of the others. She wants to make money, but not because she wants to be rich and famous or anything like that. Her family's in a bad situation, and she really wants to help them out. And she knows with this quirk and power, if she becomes a hero and gets with the right agency, she can do that. And her parents just want her to be happy and do her own thing, which is also nice to see. And she gets frustrated too when she loses to Bakugo and realizes she's got a lot more training to do. But she doesn't realize like how well she held on in that battle against him. And even Bakugo says it. And their teacher, Racerhead, who's watching the fight, even notices the respect Bakugo pays in his own way to Yuraka. Another character I like is Asu. I think she said you could call her Sue. She's like the one with the frog powers. She's always calling out our little perv, Mineta. She's very sassy. She's like very straight-faced, dry humor. She just comes out of nowhere and says something and it's hilarious. She seems to be more confident than some of the classmates. Though, she's not afraid to, like, question things. She's, how can I explain her? She's like, she's very funny without having to smile or, like I said, very dry humor with her. And she's there to kind of, like, remind Mineta he's being a perv. She even, like, isn't afraid to call up Bakugo, who's, like, gets angry, and Bakugo doesn't like it when people try to question him. Another character is Tokiyama. He's got, like, a bird face, and he's got this, like, spirit inside of him, so he's got this really unique quirk. He's very regal in a way, I guess I could say. Reading in the manga and watching him in the anime, and, you know, he knows his weakness. But he even trusts Midoriya when nobody wants to team with him because Midoriya is set up to be the target of this competition. He trusts in him, and they do pretty well in the battle. And Tokiyama actually advances to 3rd place in this competition. I mean, he just barely loses to Bakugo. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this anime a lot, and I'm continuing on with the manga. And like I said, it's got that old school feel of a superhero, kind of like your old school Marvel, like with Spider-Man, where suddenly you have these powers, like X-Men, you have these powers and you're trying to learn how to use them, and it doesn't go well. Things, you know, don't go well in your personal life, and you don't always win the fights against the villains or other people. But the determination to overcome that obstacle is what I really love about this type of story. And Midoriya, no matter what, keeps his spirits up, and even when he comes close to like giving up, something reminds him why he shouldn't. And I'm just enjoying it so much. I mean, it does give me a little bit of like those Naruto vibes too, with Naruto never wanting to give up. Even when he was broken and knocked down, he still picked himself up and continued on. I can't wait to see how it goes. I know there's some movie, there's I think one movie or two movies, I'm not sure yet. But I'm going to watch those too once I catch up to it. So tell me, are you a big fan of My Hero Academia, the anime? Let me know down in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you will be notified when I have any new videos up. I will see you on the next one. Bye.